All right, Mark. So still on the SCTE topic here, the Penn-Ohio Chapter. As far as your current role? You said you're in more of a support role, but what do you currently do for the chapter?
I am the current treasurer, so I'm monitoring the finances, submitting reports, and trying to tell Mike and Roy not to spend so much money.
Imagine that's hard to do, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah, they got minds of their own. But from a board perspective, now you've been on. I think you said you've been on the board for right about 3 years, a little over 3 years now. Is that correct?
Yes, I started as an associate for 1 year, and then our current treasurer at that time was retiring, and so I got elected as treasurer and moved into the full board.
Yeah. And one of the things I don't know if a lot of the viewers or folks may know, but the SCTE is an organization, so it's a .org, so it's non for profit. So as well as the people like yourself that help out on the board, there's no pay there, is there? It's just something you're doing as as help, as basically kind of like a donation of your time as well, right?
It's all volunteer organization at the chapter level, and so yes, there is some time involved, but it's also, it's part of that networking that you talked about earlier. It's an opportunity to get together and touch base with different people and learn from each other and work together towards a goal. I mean, we want to build the communications industry and help the younger generation come up through the way we did. So it's an opportunity. It's a little bit of a give back, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and as you mentioned, something great that the chapter's doing is what we're doing with the schools, right? I mean, that's fantastic, being able to come right out and have a certification and go into telecommunications, which kind of furthers that as well. So,
and it's an opportunity. Again, we touched on it a little bit, but for the young people, college is outrageously expensive these days, and so if you could come out with a certification out of high school and get an entry level job, a lot of these companies will help pay for your education as you work your way up through, and you can build a heck of a career and not start out $200,000 in debt. Yeah. Which is a big advantage.
Oh yeah, like you mentioned, college is extremely expensive, and not telling anybody not to go to college. If that's your dream, absolutely go. But the trade skill jobs are extremely beneficial to society, and frankly, they pay very, very well, right?
Yes, they do. And again, I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm saying there's ways for you to go to college and maybe have somebody else pay for it.
Yeah, that's the key, right? You can always have somebody else flip the bill. That's a good a good thing, technology, and as well as banking all that knowledge, right? So yeah, that's great. So if you had a book that you'd tell an aspiring the younger generation to read, what book would that be?
Wow.
Career orientation, maybe, or family for that matter. Whatever you recommend.
Family orientation. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's by Dale Carnegie. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I took a leadership course years ago, and that book was the textbook, so to speak, for the course. And the principles that are in that book will help you throughout your life.
So kind of wrapping up here, Mark, I'd like to see if you could maybe drop a piece of advice to our viewers or to anybody looking to get into the workforce, even if it's not maybe telecommunications directly, but what is one strong piece of advice you could give them as they start to build their career?
So I think it would focus around the word integrity. So we have a little saying, we call them credibility habits or integrity habits at Baker Installations, but it's basically show up on time, do what you say, finish what you start, and say please and thank you. And it really just talks about how to build credibility with people. Excuse me. how to build credibility with people, and how to be somebody that others can rely on and trust. And if you can do that, I think it makes your life and the lives of others more impactful.